And back with the breaking news we're following here for you on MSNBC on the rebellion in Russia and the newly re-elected president of Turkey now saying he spoke to Vladimir Putin by phone today and underscored the importance of acting with common sense. Joining us now, Peter Baker, chief White House correspondent for the New York Times and MSNBC political analyst. We also have Andrea Mitchell, NBC News chief Washington correspondent, chief foreign affairs correspondent, and host of Andrea Mitchell Reports right here on MSNBC. And Andrea, let's start with you on this. Why would the president of Turkey at the moment feel that it's important to stress to Putin the importance of acting with common sense?
First of all, Erdogan has unique ability and influence with Putin. Turkey is a NATO member, but has relied on, first of all, purchasing S-4 fighter jets from Moscow to the annoyance of the United States. It has refused to go along with sanctions against Russia. So Erdogan is a strong man, a similar strong man, someone that Putin would respect and a key ally. And for him to stress common sense is to say, try to resolve this without a crackdown. This is a mutiny. It is the most serious threat, of course, to Vladimir Putin's reign. I watched his speech overnight live, and I was just thunderstruck by seeing Vladimir Putin, who has never even acknowledged dissent within his country, calling this action by Prigozhin treason, saying it's a stab in the back, and calling for action against Prigozhin, who has been such an important military force in projecting strength not only against Ukraine, but for Russia around the world. He's been the tip of the spear for Russia's foreign policy advances in Africa and country after country. So for this to have happened is such a direct threat to Putin and Putin's leadership, something we had never contemplated seeing. And for him to have that addressed to the nation is just amazing. I think one of the things that Prigozhin did that really broke all future ties is to say that the predicate, the justification for the Ukraine war was a fraud. And to undermine that is, a direct challenge to the leadership of Vladimir Putin.
And Andrea, as part of the commentary that's been going back and forth between Vladimir Putin and Prigozhin, they haven't necessarily come directly at each other in name in extreme ways. They've not done that as of yet. What does this say about Vladimir Putin's leadership today and where it might go? Might he lose another, if you will, oligarch that is so important in the support of his leadership in Russia?
I think that this relationship is irreparably broken. There is no way that Putin could ever forgive Prigozhin. By calling him a traitor, treason, the stab in the back, the language that he used was so forceful that there is no question that this is not something that can be patched up. I think not naming him is simply to avoid elevating him and spreading any kind of support for him among Russians who are not entirely unaware of the ravages of this war, the effects upon their population, the casualties. There are ways that things get through even to a country that is so dominated by Putin and so isolated in terms of social media. And this is ripe for an all-out revolt. And I think another thing that NATO certainly and Erdogan have to be concerned about, certainly the U.S. with the conversation that Tony Blinken, Secretary of State Blinken, had today with the G7 allies, is the security of the strategic bases that are located around Russia. We're talking about a nuclear-armed state facing the possibility of civil war, and that is not something to be taken lightly.